What's up, beautiful people? My name is Drew, and I'm bringing you another one with the Real News Update. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of agreement, what it is, and why it's relevant. Alright, let's get into it. The power of agreement is the fundamental governing force in the universe. It really is the father of all choices. Cultures throughout history have understood this on different levels. What is the power of agreement really, though? In reality, no one person is excluded from the power of agreement. At any given moment in the day, we're making thousands of choices and agreements. As you drive your car down the street, are you not making a mutual agreement with the people at the crosswalk that you won't run them over? The mutual agreement there is the source of our power. It's the glue that unifies us. Without a set of moral guidelines, we collectively agree that there would be chaos, for there can be no universal agreement of what is good versus what is bad. You're standing in line for a sub. Do you not have a mutual agreement with the person next to you that you both come in peace and have no harmful intentions? It's the power of agreement that governs all interaction. Collectively, we agree to everything. Every moment, which creates every bit of history and our own experience. We quite literally agree to the now. And this is very important to understanding how controlling the now allows for better manipulation of the future and the past. A quote I like to say is, "A king has no power without the will of the people." Another way of saying that is, a king's number one priority is to de-unify the people, to keep them as ununified as possible. To keep us so intensely divided, the structures maintain race hatred through equality groups. They promote the illusion that they are pro-equality and have always been. They fund giant online troll campaigns as well as offline domestic equality rallies intended on creating a violent riot. These equality rallies are meant to seem organic. It's important to note, but they're definitely not. They're funded and bought and paid for. The people don't see these equality groups have been hijacked. They're working as henchmen for the king and literally dividing us physically and psychologically. And it would be the number one priority of a king or industrial monopoly. I say it again, a king has no power without the agreement of the people. If the people unify and reclaim the power of agreement, they reclaim what is rightfully theirs. This is why we see the psyop shit show that we see today in politics. My grandfather is hands down the brightest man that I know. He's a man with a very rich history, tons of wisdom, and I'm definitely eternally grateful to have been born with him. Anytime I stumbled upon a life lesson, I was met with true patience and understanding with him. He and my grandmother taught me unconditional love, but also what a true intellectual is supposed to look like. Growing up with him, I got a heavy dose of philosophy, morality, spirituality, and conspiracy. It's always truly an enlightening, educating talk, which is why I do plan to have him on the show in some future episodes. He definitely will offer some high quality content. In the end, I guess I'll end this video off by addressing the potential questions or thoughts that I once had about this thing called the power of agreement. One primarily being, I never thought it could work as a solution. I once thought, the grasp on humanity is too tight. We'll never agree our way out of this one. I want to respond to that line of thinking, because I said something similar to my grandpa one time while we were discussing this years ago. I said something to him like, I don't think the power of agreement stands a chance against the oppressors and their current level of dominance. See, me as a young guy in my 20s, I'm more concerned and was and sort of still am a victim of this, but leaned more towards concern of the problem. And him being an elder, having really in a way gone through everything that I'm going through with these awakenings, was more concerned with the solution. And because of that imbalance within myself, at the time to him, I stressed in detail how the technology and big business monopolization was so geared towards the division of people that I didn't think such a spiritual hippie idea could work over such insurmountable odds. And I said to him, I don't think the power of agreement stands a chance against the oppressors and their current level of dominance. He looked at me and said, don't you realize? It's the only way anything ever has happened. After a few days of soaking that in, I actually realized he was right. Anything that ever has played out in history, both micro and macrocosm, is a direct result of the power of agreement. Collectively, our agreements are the highest governing force. This is why industrial media monopoly has one job, and that's to manage our agreements. They do really well. While keeping us dazed, distracted, and divided, they have millions of agendas, but the common thread through them all is division and an emotional conflict that it causes by those who participate. This is the wall that Pink Floyd sung about, and this is what Trump's wall is symbolic of. The wall is in our mind. With complete love and respect, we need to wake up and realize what the power of agreement really is and why it's so fundamental to our every action. Taking accountability of our thoughts because we understand our roles as creators will lead to more harmony, more control over our futures, and better perspectives over our pasts. So in short, guys, the power of agreement is key to understanding where we go next. The solution of the problem can only be agreed to collectively. If you like this video, like and subscribe to help support a new growing channel. It definitely would be greatly appreciated. And definitely stay tuned for more videos. Thank you all for your time and an open mind. Peace.